We're gonna dig into the NFL, Thanksgiving weekend, and let's talk about the NFL. A lot of crazy things happened this weekend. We had Lamar Jackson throw 4 interceptions, still pull out a win. We had the Broncos beat the Chargers, and they're tied right now in that division. We had a lot of crazy that happened that week. The Bengals blew out the Pittsburgh Steelers. I mean, a lot of stuff happened this weekend. The Bears squeezed out a victory against the Lions on Thanksgiving on a game-winning field goal. But look, I got to talk about the NFC East. I have to, because the race is getting closer and closer. And you didn't want to listen to me. Y'all did not want to listen to me. Some did, but most of y'all did not want to hear it. Now, on Thanksgiving, Raiders versus Cowboys. I picked the Raiders, of course, to win that game, but I picked the Raiders to win by 3 touchdowns. I picked the Raiders to win easily. And after watching that game, I think the ending was better. I think it was better the fact that it was a close game. The last second, the Raiders kicked the game-winning field goal. Now, people were complaining about the one thing about competitive competition, when you win, you don't complain. When you lose, you complain. Because when the Cowboys lost, they complained about the penalties. But if they would have won, they would have never mentioned the penalties. And they're acting like those penalties weren't penalties, like they were all deserving. They were all deserving penalties, So, but when I watched that game, Dak Prescott through 3 quarters was just average. And in the 4th quarter, he does what he do best. He brings the team back, get all these yards. I think he had over 200 yards in the 4th quarter, like almost 200 yards in the 4th quarter alone. So his stats look better, blah, blah. But through 3 quarters, he looked very average. And the Cowboys the Cowboys got the most talent in the NFC East, the most talent every year almost, but they be shooting themselves in the foot. They do not stick to the run game. They're not honest with the run game. They're not consistent with the run game. People keep saying Zeke fell off. Zeke, you had to feed him throughout the game. Do y'all know Derrick Henry, he averaged more yards per carry in the 4th quarter than any other quarter because they're continually feeding him the ball and defenses get worn out. That's what you got to do with Zeke Elliott. Pollard is more of a big burst back. He can come in and run one time and gain 12 yards, but he's not an every down back for the Cowboys. So that's the difference. You can't just keep comparing these short amount of attempts of Pollard and Zeke. Zeke has to keep eating. You got to keep feeding Zeke the ball. So the Cowboys fall to 7-4. They lose to the Raiders, the next opponent against the Saints. Now, then the Eagles. I picked the Giants to beat the Eagles. All right. I posted on Twitter. You can go check it. I said the Giants would beat the Eagles. So the Giants have a good roster too. They have a good roster. They have a lot of good skill players on the defensive end. They have a good roster on defense too. And they fired Jason Garrett. So the Eagles caught the Giants at the wrong time. Not saying they lost that game because of Giants offense, but when a team makes a change on the coaching, for some reason, if the coaching they fired was really the problem, the team is more inspired for some reason. So the Eagles caught them on the wrong time. Now, Giants on the defensive end, they did a great job on Philly yesterday. Great job on Philly. Gave Philly an L. Philly now is 5-7, and the Giants, believe it or not, they are still in this race. They are 4-7. But the Eagles taking that loss was very bad for them. Now they're 5-7, and now they are 2.5 games behind the Cowboys, really 3, because the Cowboys win a tiebreaker right now. That's 2 division losses for the Eagles. That's a big blow. The only way I can see the Eagles winning this division, they have to have the best record. They can't be tied with nobody. They have to full out have the best record, and I don't see that happening. I do not see that happening. And now the media, everybody was talking about the Cowboys and the Eagles when it came to the NFC East these last 2 weeks. Don't forget about the Washington football team. Washington football team, the last 2 games, they beat the Buccaneers. They beat the Carolina Panthers. Both of those games, they won time of possession. Both of those games, they had good rushing attacks. And both of those games, they converted on 3rd down, Taylor Heinicke. I'm a big Taylor Heinicke fan. I've been rocking with Taylor Heinicke since he started the game, not the second to last, I think it was the Saints, the second to last game of the season. He came in the game at the end of the game. And I was like, okay, this dude, he looked pretty good. And then he started against the Buccaneers, which I was happy for because Alex Smith was injured. And Alex Smith was just out there to not turn the ball over, I guess. I mean, we weren't scoring no points. Our offense was terrible. We were really relying on our defense. So when they announced that Alex Smith going to play, I was actually happy because I knew Taylor Heineke would be more aggressive against this Tampa Bay defense. Because Tampa Bay, offensively, they are gun, they score a lot of points. So I'm like, we can't win against the bus with Alex Smith. So ever since then, I've been a big Taylor Heineke fan. Now, Taylor Heineke has been up and down. He's been up and down. He started off with a bang. His first start of the season, Monday night against the Giants, he played very great. And then ever since then, he's been, and then against the Falcons, he played great. But ever since the Falcons game, he's been dropping. He's been very inconsistent with his throws and accuracy. His completion percentage has been bad. He's been turning the ball over in the end zone at crucial moments. And I'm like, Taylor Heineke has to get it together for him to be a starter next year. He has to get it together. And guess what? These last 2 games. And then also, I've been calling for that offensive coordinator. Now he's calling for a job. I kept saying, run the ball. You have Gibson. Gibson reminds me of Christian McCaffrey. He's a born receiver that transitioned to a running back. So he can catch out the backfield. He can actually catch out in the field, right? And he can run the ball. And his agility is good. He got good vision. So the only issue is he's injury prone. He's always get these ticky-tack injuries, and he tends to fumble the ball at crucial moments. So the last 2 games, they've been running the ball. Now with just Gibson, right? With Patterson and McKissick, right? So they've been running the ball, and then because they're running the ball, it opens up the field for Taylor Heineke. So you don't have to rely on him. Like, he's not Tom Brady. He's not Aaron Rodgers. He's not Patrick Mahomes. Come on, y'all, right? But he can be a Dak Prescott, because Dak Prescott, to me, is not that great to me, right? I mean, the dude has the best weapons on the offensive end more than anybody almost in the NFL. You get Taylor Heineke that same thing, he'll do. I think Taylor Heineke will be much better, but that's my opinion. But Taylor Heineke, with the weapons he got right now, running the football first, and then just converting on third down, he's been a good job doing that. And then guess what? We get Thomas back. He get his tight end back. We also get Curtis Samuel back, his second receiver, who's been in and out of the lineup all year. So Taylor Heineke is doing this without his receivers. Now, I know Dak Prescott didn't have his top 2 receivers on Thanksgiving. I understand that. All right. And he didn't have he also didn't have his number 1 receiver the game prior to that, the Chiefs. I understand that. But Taylor Heineke, he's going to continue to play good. So the Washington football team plays Monday night tonight against the Seattle Seahawks. The Seattle Seahawks are 3-7. All right. Now, I'm not going to look at that record because they still got Russell Wilson. But me personally, Russell Wilson, he's not that guy. He's not that guy right now. His claim to fame is his 2 Super Bowl run. And both of those runs, he had great, all-time great defenses. All right. And he had a good running game. If you take that away from him, what has he done? He's been in MVP conversation early every season, and he falls off the map. They make it to the playoffs, he get bounced in the first round. I mean, he's not that guy. So my thing is, I believe we'll win, but this is the most important game of the season so far. If we lose this game, we drop to 4-7. That means we'll be 3 games behind the Cowboys, which can't happen because, like I said, we beat Seattle. And then the Cowboys go out and play the Saints, and let's say they lose. We play the Raiders, we win, we meet the Cowboys for the number 1 spot in the division. If the Cowboys win and we also win, right, we beat the Cowboys, we'll only be a game behind the Cowboys. So the Washington football team have a good opportunity to capture the division, but I promise you, once they win this game, this Monday night against Seattle, the media will be talking about the Washington football team because right now they're not being mentioned at all of potentially winning the division. People still have us finishing last. All right. So the disrespect, but this NFC East is, like I said 2 weeks ago, this NFC East is closer than you think. This NFC East is closer than you think. All right. So tune in tonight, Monday Night Football. See my man Taylor Heineke have a great game. I'm gonna predict Washington football team will win somewhere around 31-21. Taylor Heineke would throw over 250 yards, 2 TDs. I can see Gibson having about 95, close to 100 yards rushing. and he might score a TD too, but his TD might be through passing. We'll see. The rushing TD might go to McKissic. All right, but that's my prediction. I think the defense is going to do a good job against Russell Wilson. The defense has been playing much better. You know why the defense has been playing better? Because the offense is staying on the field longer. All right, so tune into that game Monday night, and that's all I have for you guys, and I'll see you in the next episode.